we're at a moment where the security paradigm is shifting really lightning fast after a long period of time. And we have an opportunity to talk about that with Christopher Schouten, who is Senior Director of Product Marketing for NAGRA. Christopher, thanks for taking some time to take us through this
of course.
Rather dramatic time as far as security is concerned. We've been talking about watermarking, we've been talking about advanced standards and specifications for enhanced content protection for 2 years, at least, and as far as movie lab specs go. But now it seems something's happening as far as making all that real. What do you see?
Well, I think it's taken a while for the industry to understand the studio's expectations with advanced content protection, with things like 4K, necessary to have hardware root of trust, secure video path, all these different things. It's been an educational process, and we've been trying to help our customers understand that as much as we can. And now that they are, and now that there's a large installed base of 4K TVs out there, and now that operators are starting to offer 4K services, they're taking it very seriously. These requirements from Hollywood are not random. They're not spurious. They weren't made up just by Hollywood. They're best practices for content protection of any kind. And for that reason, it makes all the sense in the world for pay TV operators to consider the future security of their own content, whether it be premium movies, whether it be exclusive sports, whether it be any of the unique content they have. It needs that level of protection and will in the future as well.
Now, one of the things you've done in the past year that I guess sends a real signal in the marketplace that this stuff is getting real serious is you acquired NextGuard,
yes.
Who is the leading provider of watermarking technology, as far as I've been able to discern, in terms of penetration in the marketplace to date. What has that entailed in terms? We were working with them before and
yes.
integrated with them. What more has happened as a function of that acquisition?
Well, it's still early days with regards to that, and we're working together to find out what that's going to mean. But the thing that it does clearly mean is that now NAGRA has the ability to offer 3 different things. We can offer the CAS and DRM technologies, we can offer the watermarking technology and services, and we can offer all of the anti-piracy, breach monitoring, and response services, and have the scale to do that on a global level. So bringing watermarking into the picture really only made sense to create what we're calling real content protection for consumers. It's not just about smart cards, it's not just about technology anymore, it's about the marriage of different technologies and services to solve 100% of the problem instead of just a piece of it.
And I guess one of the things that certainly NextGuard was engaged with their customers with the implementation of watermarking was their own ecosystem of enforcement, forensic tracking and what have you. And of course, you've been deeply involved all over the world with anti-piracy activities for a long time. So is there some benefits that are coming of combining the two companies' participations in those aspects of things that create a larger force out there for coherence on this whole enforcement question?
So absolutely yes. First, some context. NextGuard will continue to work with all of the current partners that they have, including other anti-piracy monitoring companies and non-NAGRA customers, in order to make sure that they're getting all the benefits of this technology. Those partnerships, those relationships will continue. In the context of NAGRA and Konax and the Kodolsky Group, we now have the ability to take all of the protection, forensic watermarking, and services aspects and create a single bundle of those going forward, not only commercially, but also from an operational perspective. If you think about a live video sports stream being sent out, being watermarked, being detected by detection services in an early phase, which is of course the objective, and then being able to have a closed loop back to the CAS or the DRM system to be able to immediately shut it off. It has a lot of value to have all those things happening within a single ecosystem with a single partner, because you can act more quickly, more decisively, more effectively to disrupt the pirate ecosystem. And we'll be able to do that more and more as we then apply new technology to automate the process and make that happen more quickly.
But of course, with automation comes more than just the technology requirement. It also comes with how you want to deal with this sort of thing in the marketplace. And that's a big bullet that people are going to have to bite, because it's going to be disruptive to some of their subscribers. They're going to want to know what happened.
Sure.
And a lot of them don't even know they're on a pirated stream sometimes.
That's a very interesting question because, we're talking about piracy of live streams. A lot of that is happening now on set-top boxes that are Android or Linux based that you can buy online on eBay for $60 or even 4K boxes for $150. People buy these, they see them advertised on Facebook, their friends recommend to them, they take them home, they plug them in, and they work very much like a standard pay TV operator experience. The problem is many times people don't even realize they're illegal, that they're pirate solutions. And things of this nature. So our goal is to not only stop this activity, which we're doing very effectively, as you've seen from recent press releases that we put out about U.S. court judgments against the company GoTech.
Yeah.
$101 million judgment against them. But also the education of consumers that we're doing in the U.S., for instance, within the IBC forum, in order to be able to educate some of the ethnic communities in the U.S. who are receiving broadcasts from South Asia that are the exclusive rights of Dish to actually broadcast, but they're doing this via pirate streaming services, to let them know that if they buy one of these boxes, there's a risk that it won't work anymore after a little while because we'll have shut it down.
Now, of course, when it comes to really effective use of watermarking industry-wide, the level of cooperation that's got to come down has to do with being able to read all these different watermarks. Every vendor has its own code, and having enforcement mechanisms set up and a whole chain of command around that. And that can't just be a single vendor or one side, the content side, or the service provider. It's got to be everybody kind of. Are you seeing any movement toward that in terms of formalizing that collaboration yet?
We're not currently, and currently within our customer ecosystem, and I can't speak too much for NextGuard yet, but they're not seeing the need or the request to do that from their customers. They're effectively handling that on their own, but it's, of course, then easier for them because they're the world's most used watermarking solution at this point.
Yeah.
So we'll see if the industry requires that to be effective in the future. The Kudolsky Group has a long tradition of creating coalitions of interested parties to work more effectively together to solve the piracy problem, so that may happen.
All right, well, we'll stay tuned. Christopher, thank you so
Always
much
a
for the
pleasure,
time.
Fred.
Really
Thank you.
appreciate it.